From the BBC World Service, in association with ABC and Akashvani, this is Stumped.
Hello and welcome to Stumped. I'm Alison Mitchell and with me is Clint Wilden for the ABC in Perth and Sunil Gupta for Akashvani is in Delhi. India's men are world champions again after they beat New Zealand by 96 runs in Ahmedabad to defend their T20 World Cup title. On the same ground where they wilted under pressure and expectation 2.5 years ago against Australia in the 50-over World Cup final, the co-hosts romped to 255 for 5 in front of a crowd of over 100,000 jubilant supporters. And in reply, New Zealand were all out for just 159. Now, Sunil, India are the first side to defend the men's T20 World Cup, and they've now won the last 3 men's white ball tournaments. Rohit Sharma was the captain then, and the only other men to have led India to World Cup glory until now are Kapil Dev and MS Dhoni. And those are 3 icons right there of Indian sport. Surya Kumar Yadav now stands alongside them. And just his story of how he came to prominence is quite something, isn't it?
It is totally remarkable, Ali. Let me tell you, he made his international debut at the age of 30, which is late for a cricketer, in 2021. And the very first ball he faced, I remember watching that, was against Jofra Archer, which he flicked over square leg for 6. It was a magnificent shot. It was an effortless shot, and he showed that he had arrived in international cricket. That's what he was famous for. It was 145 Ks plus, I can tell you. And he is the first member from all full member nations to play 100 T20Is without playing 10 tests or 40 ODIs. So that is truly remarkable, yes.
Now, on the crowd in Ahmedabad, I mean, incredible noise always is for any India match, in particular a World Cup final, but I heard there were extra trains even put on for fans who were rolling into the city in their thousands, and some even leaving Mumbai at like 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, so Mumbai, Pune, and even Delhi. There was a special train run from Delhi. And you talked about 100,000. There were 120,000 people in that stadium. And all of them, you must have seen it. It was like the blue sky had come down into the stadium. It was all blue. It was incredible. And this time they got what they wanted. As you said, way back in 2023, they didn't. But I think they made up for the ghosts of that past. And they made it up emphatically. And they dismantled New Zealand. I think we were all totally gobsmacked by the way that they took them apart.
Yeah, I mean, Clint, I was going to come to you on that because if the final was sort of barely a contest, was it? But, you know, India at home, T20 cricket, they're something of a machine at the moment.
They absolutely are. What a powerhouse in T20 cricket they've been since going right back to when it all began. Back-to-back wins now in what is the most difficult format to dominate in. We know that because it's so fickle when one player can just do one thing that can change a game. It was very, very late or early, if you prefer Perth time, and look, I thought it was at the first power play, none for 92. The game seemed over then, just an inevitability about it. And, yeah, Samson, incredible. Sharma's 52 off 21. Kishan's 54 from 25. And that's without some of the big names who could have so easily have been in that 11. It's an incredibly impressive team, and there's so much talent there. And I had a look back through at the actual squad. So when the squad was announced, 7 of the squad under 30. So this is a team that could dominate for some time. It's going to be very tough to beat this Indian side. It's going to require a side that gets everything right on game day, and that can happen. But goodness me, you said they're just a T20 machine at the moment, India. They're so impressive to watch.
So that leads me on to, if I pick up on something that Surya Kumar Yadav said in his press conference after the final, he said their next target is to win gold at the LA Olympics in 2028. I mean, there'll only be 5 other teams to beat there. It's a smaller field. But does anybody else have much of a chance the way they're going? I mean, is much likely to change in 2 years when you mention that age profile of the squad?
I don't think a lot will change within those 2 years. And I go back to everything is going to have to go right for whoever can beat them because they have so much class and ability. Even if you have a look at for whatever they're worth, they're interesting to look at, the ICC T20 rankings. They've got the number 1 and 2 ranked batters in the world, and they've got 4 in the top 10. Samson, by the way, isn't even in the top 20. He's ranked at 22 with how impressive he's been. They've got 4 of the world's top T20 ranked bowlers, and they've got the second best all-rounder as well. So I loved what he said, the skipper, about wanting to go on and not just win gold, but why can't they then win 3 in a row in the T20 World Cup as well? He wants to win everything.
Be a real legacy team.
Yeah, and I think that's a great attitude to have. And there's no reason they can't, except, as we know, sometimes it does come down to the day. But if all things are equal, it's going to be very, very tough to see someone challenging India in the foreseeable future because they have so many weapons.
So, Neil, what about Sanju Samson? Mentioned him as player of the tournament. He wasn't expected to play much, if at all, during the World Cup, and yet he managed to practically rewrite the narrative of his own career in those 3 knockout matches. Does that make his achievement all the more special?
It's a very interesting backstory for Sanju Samson. What he's been through. He's 31, so he's also no spring chicken, and he's been around for a very, very long time. When he first played for India back in 2015, so we're talking 11 years ago, he was still a teenager. But he was an IPL star with the Rajasthan Royals, so that's what got him into the team. However, in his first 23 innings, he had only 1 half-century to his name. So everybody thought he's an IPL titan, but he's not really going to cut it at the international level. So that has been his problem. He's been in and out and in and out. And even in this World Cup, he was out of the team. He played 2 games, 24 against Zimbabwe, 22 against Namibia, and then he was out, right? But he had a couple of strokes of luck. I mean, luck for him, but not luck for Rinku Singh, because Rinku Singh, as you might know, his father passed away, unfortunately. He had to go back home, and they didn't know whether he was coming back. And so he got his chance, and he got his chance at the top of the order, because till then, Abhishek Sharma and Ishan Kishan had not really made it as the opening pair. They'd got very, very poor starts. That is the hallmark of a person says, this is my time. I have to grab this moment. And boy, did he grab that moment. I mean, against the West Indies, and then in the semi-finals, and then in the finals. He was unstoppable. And I think what the great thing about him, it was mentioned by Suryakumar Yadav as well, he could have played a few, more balls, picked up singles, picked up his 100, but he didn't stop. He played for the team. And that has been, to my mind, his biggest quality as a player. He plays for the team, and of course, he's a very good keeper as well. So you can't say that, he's just there for, one dimension. He has been through the grind. He has been through the ringer, but he has come up trumps. And, eventually when you stick to your strengths and you stick to what you believe, then you can actually make it to the top. That's what's happened to Sanju Samson. I think everybody has realized his caliber. Everybody knew his caliber. He just wasn't being able to translate it into the big scores, into the winning scores for his team. But, he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I got this quote, T20 cricket is a game of small margins, but it's also one in which you need a sliver of luck to thrive. And he got that luck. Bad luck for somebody, but luck for him. And then you got to make the most of that luck.
So well deserved. When you talk about recognising a moment, I'd like to get both your views on this, because the ICC chair, Jay Shah, was quite involved in the trophy celebrations, in particular the trophy lift, quite keen to help the captain raise that trophy in the air. Does it matter for the head of world cricket to be so involved in one team's celebration? It is his own country, but Sunil, Clint, perhaps come to you first. What do you make of that?
Surely the ICC chair can't be hugging the Indian players after they win and celebrate like a fan. I know deep down you are a fan. That's how you get involved in all these things to begin with. But in this circumstance, you're not. You are the chair of the ICC. You have to be above fandom. You run the game. You need to remove yourself from cheering for a team. You have to cheer for the game and the result. I don't think you should be showing jubilation for one of these teams winning over the other. And I know we've seen Jay Shah involved in videos like this before, but it seems to me a complete lack of self-awareness about what your role is here. You are not a supporter. 12 clips in that 37 seconds of the BCCI, and it was the BCCI's clip of India celebrating. So 12
the video
of 16,
montage, wasn't it? Yeah, it's been quite widely shared.
Yeah, but again, 12 of 16 clips, that's a great strike rate. That almost makes you up there with the player of the match in terms of your strike rate. So maybe that's why he got in there. But I just missed the moment when he was the player of the match or the tournament. And I know perhaps this is a cultural thing, and I accept this. Maybe it is a cultural thing, but that wouldn't happen in a lot of nations around the world. It certainly wouldn't happen here. And I remember being in Ahmedabad when there was the Prime Minister of India had the Modi Mobile and that gaudy golf cart that went around the stadium, and he had the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on it for a bit of a lift, and every Australian broadcaster and reporter was like, what on earth is going on? Like, this is not about either of you. Like, we're here to watch the cricket. And conversely, though, many of our Indian colleagues just saw nothing out of place with it whatsoever. So maybe it is a cultural thing, but I'm absolutely comfortable in saying that the ICC chair, whoever it is from whatever nation they come from, can't be seen celebrating as a supporter is, because you are so much bigger than that. And it brings into question, rightly or wrongly, but it does bring into question about how involved you are with every decision that comes from that point onwards, if you are seen having so much joy in one team winning.
Sunil, does Clint have a point for you? You're a proud Indian. I'm intrigued as to the view in India about yes, Jay Shah was the head of the BCCI, and that puts him in a different position as head of the ICC. What changes and how is that viewed in India?
Well, as Clint said, it's a cultural thing. Nobody thought it amiss. Nobody thought that he'd done anything wrong. He was celebrating. He enjoyed it as an Indian. I mean, yes, he is the ICC chair, but he's also an Indian. So I grant him that. And I guess sometimes emotions get the better of you, especially when you have, defeated history in so many ways. As you said, the only team to defend the T20 World Cup title, to win on their own home soil. It's not been done before. So I think these are big achievements, and which he was celebrating.
Now, next on Stumps, it's just over a year since the former members of the Afghanistan women's cricket team played their first match together since the takeover by the Taliban. The game took place in Melbourne, where the majority of the players fled in 2021. Now, last April, after much lobbying, the ICC recognised the women and formed a landmark partnership with the cricket boards of Australia, England and India to support the group with a dedicated fund and a high-performance programme. So how have the players' lives progressed on and off the field since then? Well, I've been speaking with all-rounder Tuba Khan Sawari, who's in Canberra, and she began by telling me about the team's trip to train and watch the Women's World Cup in India.
It was like the best moment of our life, like, I don't know how to describe, but I think we had a great time, great experience with all the professional high-level coaches that we did practice, and we learned lots of things about, not just about the cricket, it's like we learn about how we work as a team together, how we encourage each other. Having that opportunity to have some practice or training under the international high performance coaches, it was so excited, especially when we went to the Guwahati for the World Cup, for the first game, match World Cup, India with Sri Lanka. As a cricket player, I know each sport is it's important for all players. They play under their country names and they have some identity to play. But when I saw how the India and Sri Lanka team, they play and they went to the field and all the people, they encourage them. As a player, I wish on that moment, I want to play in this field one day. I think it's not impossible, but we receive lots of support from the Australian Cricket Board, from the England, which is we really appreciate. We're really grateful for all the support and encouragement we receive from them. And this is what we motivated that, we can raise the voice for million Afghan girls that they are back in Afghanistan and they are banned from everything, even the basic right, their basic right, reading and writing.
Tell me about your own situation then. We'll talk a little bit more about your trip to India in a moment. But when you first came to Australia, did you travel on your own or were you able to have any family with you?
When I came to Australia, I came with my only brother. He was 17 years old, teenager. And now I think he is 21 years old. it's very hard, especially the moment that I say last goodbye to my parents.
They must feel proud of you then, what you are doing with your cricket and the opportunities that you've now had in Australia.
Each between 2 3 days, I'm talking with my parents and my mom. She always encouraged me, like she was a teacher, and she she's very nice. Like the way she helped me to play cricket, study, and going to university. It wasn't easy for a girl to do, like playing cricket. However, all the relative families member, even the community, they are against us, and they thought like when the girl is playing cricket, that's not what we have in our culture. That's not good for the women. But yes, I came with my brother, my family, they are back in Afghanistan, and every day I miss my parents.
I'm sure. And so, what does your life look like in Canberra then? If you moved over when you were also, fairly young, your brother only 17 at that time, what does life look like for you now, where you live, what you do study-wise?
I think being a refugee, it has lots of challenge. It's not easy. However, like we had lots of support from the Australia government. We had lots of nice people that they support us, they guide us how to find our way in Australia. But still, it has challenge, like learning new language, like learning new culture and finding our way. First time it was very even like hard to find catch the bus. I
Mm.
lost it 3 times. I thought like yeah, it was very funny, and also when I'm thinking now, oh my god, we were like here, now we are here. I'm going university, like I start to learn English here, and yeah, it has like challenge to learn everything new, especially when you're moving with no family member. Your My brother was very young, and also I wasn't that much like on that age that I can uh, hold all this pressure, stress, being first time away from my family, my country, and coming in new country that everything is new. Like how now when sometimes I'm thinking, oh my god, from here we start, like we start from zero. And now I think most of us, we are very grateful. We are like we have our license now, we can drive, we join lots of different cricket club, and we are going gym, study, university. Like I think few of our player they start university, which is good. It's not easy to like manage everything in the first or second year. It's took time for us.
And
But
you're
of
now at the University of Canberra?
yes,
What do you study?
I study international relation politics.
Wow, goodness, what a subject to do. And so if I come back to the support that you as a group have had first through, there was the Pitch Our Future Fund that was formed before the ICC funding came in. Have you noticed quite a difference in the support and the opportunities you've been able to have, in particular sort of through cricket as a result of that funding last April?
Yes, of course. Like when we have more of opportunity and when we have support, of course, everything can change. However, we can see like now we have training like with the very good coaches, and we do like gym session with the good trainer, which is like this all opportunity coming from the foundation, like from the support that we receive. Before we receive this foundation from Page Our Future, before that, like most of our players including me, we were like disappointed because even a small trip like from Canberra to Melbourne, it has expensive like the
Mm.
hotel ticket, everything. But if we want to play like as a professional cricket player, as a high performance cricketer, of course we need like lots of opportunity, like high level coaches, gym session, working on our fitness, about our like food, all these things. But of course, like after that, like when we receive like support, we have lots of practice now.
Tell me more about the India tour that you went on towards the end of last year. It coincided with the Women's World Cup, but that was a high performance trip, wasn't it? Tell us more about that experience and where you went to.
It was so excited being as a team together and playing together, practicing together, and sharing our experience about how was our turning today, how was like the batting skills went, how was the bowling skills went. And it was such a great experience for all of us that we had this ambition in 10 years, which is coming true like last year. And especially when we went to Guwahati for the World Cup, for the first game India with Sri Lanka. It was such a great moment, and we saw ourselves on the screen.
We saw you on the TV screen, yes.
Yeah, they talk about the Afghan women's team. Oh my God, I was about to cry.
And did I see that you met Ben Stokes at some point during the Ashes when he was in
Oh
Australia?
yeah, he did lots of things.
So a few
Yeah.
doors have opened for you.
Mel Jones, she sent because the Cricket England, they support us a lot. They are the first those people that they took a step for us and heard our voice. And because of this, some of my teammates, including me, when Mel Jones and Emma asked if you go to Sydney, it's about 3 hours from my place. And because some of the England player, they are in Sydney, and we went to there and I saw some of the England player, and we just express our feeling and grateful. We just say thank you so much, we really appreciate for all your support that you done for us. And it was good experience. We stayed for a few minutes watching their batting and bowling and how people is coming. And as a player, when we see another player like England player, India player, anywhere, any country players, we feeling we are in same position.
You're an
And
international cricketer.
yeah, but it's took for us lots of long time to reach this goal. It wasn't easy. We faced lots of challenge, but now I think the main advice that I heard from my mom, she was telling me ignore people. If you're really into cricket, ignore people, which is I did.
Tuba, what are your hopes now then for the rest of this year? Because it will soon be a year since that ICC funding was announced. Do you know how long that funding goes for? And what are your hopes then for these next 12 months?
None of our player, we don't have all the full details. They just heard from the ICC. They said we are going to support your team for the 12 months. After that, we will see how you're going, which level you are. Then we will make decision. I hope this will continue. It will be very, very hard for us to, after 12 months or after few months, again, we rejected from ICC, which is, I don't want to think about this one. It will be, because each time we started this, something happened, we just stop it. Then we started, something happened, we stop it. This time, we really want to, it's going to continue. We really want from the ICC to support us. It's cricket. It's not gonna fix in few months. It's take time, but still, our girls, everyone, they have their regular training. They try their best to reach the level that ICC expected from us, and we try our best. Hopefully, the only things that we wish that this support is continue.
Well, that was Tuba Khan Sawari, all-rounder with the Afghanistan Women's Refugee 11, as per that name they had on their shirts. Really great to chat to her. Stumped has put the question to the ICC to get clarity on what will happen with the funding once this first year is up, and we're awaiting their response. Well, that was all we've got time for this edition of Stumped, so thanks for listening and for watching. Clint, Sunil, great to have you both along. It's been fun as always. See you next time. Bye-bye.